Welcome back to Geekdom Q&A, where I answer your questions from the Ask.fm. But this is a very special Geekdom Q&A. And yes, folks, there was no Geekdom Q&A last week. Took the week off, but I'm back with a big surprise. This is my first official Geekdom Q&A with a guest of the new year, and it's the first one since I hit 40,000 subscribers. So thanks all of you for that. Joining me on this Q&A is probably my most requested guest to come back. Probably the funniest Dragon Ball YouTuber ever, except for me when I talk about naked girls. And that's Hail Zeon. Hello.
Hey guys, it's Hail Zeon, the realest motherfucker in the Dragon Ball community. I am back by popular demand.
Literally popular demand. Now, I want everybody watching this Q&A right now, before we answer any questions, I want you to pause the Q&A, and I want you to go to Zeon's channel, which I'll leave the description down below, and I want you to subscribe to his channel. I'm not kidding. Pause it and go. This is the hardest sell ever. Pause the Q&A. I do mean hard. Subscribe to his channel and watch his Q&A, because his Q&A, at least the first one, which is the one I've seen thus far, by the time this video goes up, you may have a second one up, but the first one was very, very funny. So go watch it, be entertained, have us on in the background while you work out or play Dragon Ball Xenoverse, whatever you want. So let's get to these questions, Zeon. Number one, this is a good one here. Whose brain would you want to live in for a day?
Ooh. Let's see. Pretty much anyone who's got to fuck Christina Ricci. I want some of those memories.
See, it's funny because my pick was going to be Justin Bieber, so I can have all the memories of fucking all kinds of barely legal pussy around the world. Can you imagine, bro? Like, either him or, like, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, Justin Timberlake probably got some grade A poon.
And probably still gets it. So I think I would probably pick him. Yeah. All right, here we go. Follow me on this. What if Radix was sent to Earth instead of Goku? That's already bad. That's a QAAMAN freaking. Hey, QAAMAN, what if Radix was sent to Earth instead of Goku and bumped his head the same way, became good, yada yada, had his potential unlocked by Grand Elder, and eventually became LSSJ GLSSJ5 Ozaru Mystic Braditz? Would he be able to take on Super Perfect Pure Mecha Whiskalo in giant form? This is one of those I'm trying to be funny, but I'm failing miserably questions.
Yeah, I hate seriously, every time I get a Q&A question like that, I just go delete. I refuse to give these motherfuckers the satisfaction of me reading their stupid ass question on the internet. I'm like, nope.
It's just funny because this guy's making fun of those people purposely, right?
I know.
But even making fun of them is done, right?
Yeah, it's just like, wow, dude. Like the meta thing's over and done with, dude. Like we're in post irony now. Like, stop.
Yeah, it's ironic to be ironic. In the Cell arc, this is a good one. Which character do you think was the best written by Travis John? What do you think? Because arguably speaking, the Cell arc doesn't have the best writing as far as characters go.
Doesn't.
Yeah, I think Trunks, but then again, the whole war-torn future thing was kind of a ripoff of some other media, so what do you think?
Yeah. Oh man, like
And Trunks is also kind of a bitch after a while too.
I feel like Krillin got like really good development in that in that arc. You know, because he had that whole, you know, that
he
whole
sacrificed the Earth for blue balls, Zeon.
He did. So I mean, like, you know, he had kind of like a good struggle going on. Vegeta was the absolute worst written he's ever been in the entire series.
He was so annoying.
God damn it. He was like at his absolute worst at that point. And Jay's probably gonna be pissed at me, but fuck him. Like that was a terrible that was a terrible fucking moment for Vegeta right there.
Now, when you look at Piccolo, Piccolo I thought was well written as far as he had some good moments. He fused with Kami. I really love the Piccolo Goku interaction during the Cell game when he's talking about, you know, Goku's like, you know, fight, and you know, Piccolo, you know, that whole, like, Piccolo was like, dude, you know, Goku, he's just a kid, and that whole thing, like that interaction with Goku and Piccolo, that's fantastic writing if you ask me. But for the whole arc though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, like, there's a couple of good moments where you're like, oh, man, like that was just a really good character moment. But as far as just throughout the entire thing, I mean, the last two arcs of the series, as beloved as they are, the characters are fucking retarded.
Even the villains are.
yeah, like every character makes the absolute worst fucking choice at the worst points in time. It was really bad for a lot of it. Like if you really just take a moment to just be really critical of those arcs, yeah, they're kind of a mess.
Yeah, the Cell arc is still probably my favorite, but the characters themselves are quite annoying. What about, you know what? I would say Gohan is probably the best written if you were to put the, not just because, I mean, it's kind of cheating, but not only does he kind of, and I hate to use this word, ascend beyond the rest of the Sea Fighters, but I love when he's in the Room of Spirit and Time and he's asking Goku for more. Give me more, give me more. I thought Gohan was very well written. I thought that he was kind of being a bitch in the tournament, but once, 16 died, he kind of became a badass. So, I mean, it's kind of, going from, it's kind of like picking, the nicest guy in jail, but I would like to say that Gohan's my pick for the best written character.
Okay, I got it. I know who my pick is. 16.
Why is that?
The emotionless goddamn robot, I think, is the best written because he actually has, kind of because at first he starts off like, he has this whole blank slate, like, I must kill Son Goku, like that is his whole thing. But then, like, you start seeing like these little bits of his personality, like, he learns to appreciate life and the world around him because that has something to do with Goku. Like, so he develops a personality, things that he loves, and he actually goes up against his own programming, his own prime directive in life to kill Goku just so he could stop a greater evil to the earth because he's learned to have an appreciation for life, the beauty of nature, all of that. And he is the one that, like, just pours his metaphorical heart out because, I mean, he's a fucking robot, doesn't have a heart. But, just pours all of his robot emotions out to Gohan that triggers that moment for him. So, yeah, like, I mean, like, he actually has development. He has an arc. He gives the most profound, one of the most profound speeches in all of Dragon Ball. So, yeah, fuck it. As far as best written, Artificial Human 16.
Can't argue that. Do you think that Krillin's Destructo Disc would have killed Second Form Frieza on Namek if it hit him? Probably not killed, but it would have cut him in half, like Goku ended up doing, like he did to himself, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, like, it would cut him in half, but, like, because Frieza's durability is kind of weird, because, I mean, like, when he got wished back in Frieza chunks. And those Frieza chunks were still alive.
Yeah,
so,
which is
so,
weird.
Like,
but that's kind of a retcon, too.
Yeah, I mean, so, like, that means, like, when Trunks chopped them all to pieces, he was still alive up until he got just vaporized. So it wouldn't have killed him. It would have cut him in half, and it would have made him way less dangerous.
And I think eventually they would have probably ended up killing him. He would have probably thrown another one and cut him in half again.
Yeah, like, I mean, you cut him into enough pieces, he can't really fight back, and he just kind of do the Majin Buu thing and just start vaporizing the pieces, and you're done.
That's it, you're done. Did Master Roshi kill Boss Rabbit when they blew up the moon? Toriyama answered this himself. Makes no sense, but no. Toriyama said that Boss Rabbit... I think he actually said Boss Rabbit may be floating in space still or something like that, right?
Yeah, he's floating in space, supposedly, and... Okay. The fact that he's saying that, Boss Rabbit can exist in this vacuum of space, no, fuck you. The fact that he's saying that Boss Rabbit can survive the Muten Roshi's Kamehameha, his max power Kamehameha that can blow up the moon, and he can survive the moon being blown up, but Vegeta at SSGSS can't survive the Earth being blown up.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I made...
He's dead. He's dead. He's goddamn dead. He starved to death in space. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's dead at this point. And the thing is, I made a video, Dragon Ball In Depth, Can Goku Breathe in Space? And one of the comments that I got over and over again from people, and again, I criticize the community. I love the community. I really do love you guys, but you gotta think, I know, but you gotta think sometimes, okay? It doesn't make any sense that Frieza survived the explosion and Vegeta didn't. And what it's implied by Whis is that, well, Frieza's still alive, Vegeta died, and Frieza can survive in space. So it makes no sense that a god, or what's beyond a god, which is Vegeta, dies in the vacuum of space, and yet Goku is clearly in the vacuum of space. I don't care if it's the fucking stratosphere or not. It's still in space. You still can't survive it. And Vegeta can't. Meanwhile, Frieza can survive both. That doesn't make sense to me. It just, especially in his fourth form, wasn't even golden form. So people who are still arguing this, you need to accept the fact that it is a contradiction. That it doesn't make any sense. Accept it, all right? It's a fact.
Yeah.
If you was going to write a Twilight Zone story, what would it be about? This is a good question. I'm asking you right now.
Oh man, I don't know, like, because I'm a huge fan of like those really kind of mind bendy, like looking into the dark reflection of mankind's like darkest elements. So I would probably do something that seemed like really sincere and innocent on the surface until you dig deeper and you start kind of unpacking the characters and the environment, and it just gets more surreal and fucked up as it goes. So like as far as like like I could only really talk about like tonal things and not really like an actual story. Just I would probably start from a tone and a concept and just start filling in the blanks from there and just write a story around that.
Yeah, I like those a lot too. Of course, the whole gimmick with Twilight Zone is the twist endings, and I was always more of an Outer Limits fan, personally. See, it's funny.
Me too.
Right? Good.
I love the fucking Outer Limits, man. Like no, not enough love. The fuck the terrible remake that they did of the Outer Limits. That was not good.
Well, which one? Because the one in the '90s series, or there was like a 2002 series, I think also.
It was a 2000. Jesus Christ!
Maybe
I
I'm
only saw the
thinking of
'90s one.
Okay, you didn't like that because I was actually a big fan of the '90s Outer Limits. Not every episode, but there were a few ones that I loved.
Like I mean, it's not bad. It's just more of like the stories didn't really grip me as much, and like I mean I liked it like when I was younger because it was in color, but then I don't know, I think back to a lot of those stories and they weren't as unsettling as
I agree with you there.
As the older ones were. Like the older ones were really creepy, especially like I actually spent like 1 year I just binged watched a shit ton of Twilight Zone on Netflix. And
Twilight Zone or Outer Limits?
Twilight Zone specifically because they don't have Outer Limits. I
That's
would
right,
have been watched Outer Limits if they had it. Oh, I wonder if that's Hulu. I have a Hulu account now. I should probably see if they have it on Hulu.
They do.
Man.
They do have it on
Oh,
Hulu.
awesome. Fuck
Yep.
it. Why the hell am I doing a Q&A? I should be watching the Outer Limits, man. Fuck your subs.
Sorry. That's my fault. I'll tell you what, as far as the Outer Limits like 90s series goes, and by the way, to answer the question in the Q&A, I'd probably do something similar. I always like, it has to be a good twist though, where you have to go back and rewatch the episode to pick up on it. As far as the 90s Outer Limits go, I talked to Clayton about this. Clayton, and once, and I know that I agree with you that the black and white one is a lot creepier, but there are some episodes of Outer Limits, bro, in the 90s one that I felt could have been made into full-length films that are so much better than that M. Night Shyamalan bullshit. One of my favorites is the one with the... Did you ever see the one with the soldier who ended up on a planet filled with nothing but women? Because that's like a fantasy of mine, honestly. So it's this post-apocalyptic, spoilers. They're in a post-apocalyptic world, and this soldier wakes up because he was cryogenically frozen, right? And he wakes up in a world that's nothing but women. And what happens is it's a peaceful world. It's one of those, I think you dig it, bro, because it's got that whole, like, the evil that men do thing. Because when he gets unleashed to the world, little by little, you start to see the society crumble apart because mankind is naturally violent and naturally sadistic, and you know how it is, like the whole thing about how men are, like we're like the voyage home, bro, Star Trek 4, the voyage home, and they have like the remaining villages in the world are all like at peace, so he builds this like rivalry between them, not purposely, but because he has a lot of pride and a lot of ego. And he starts to fuck a couple of the women, bro. And this is their first taste of like real dick. So, damn, this is a fantasy of mine. So, like, he's fucking these bitches, right? And there's like a jealousy thing going on because he's the only man. You know what I mean? So they're all kind of fighting over him. And then the twist ending, which I recommend you watch it, but the twist ending is that it turns out that years ago, all the men were cryogenically frozen by the women to stop the wars from happening after World War III, and that the old lady villager in this episode, who was the oldest one, was actually his girlfriend before they froze him, and he realizes it at the very end, and she opens up like a locket, and it's actually him. That's one of my favorites, bro. That was a great episode.
Damn.
It was a good.
That was Outer Limits?
That was Outer Limits, the 90s series. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah, they did some good shit, bro. I also like the Sand Kings one that was written by George R.R. Martin. One of the creepiest ones, they did a very basic story called this one about a monster under the bed. It's season 1. Don't remember the name. It's very basic. it turns out that it was like an evil troll or something. But the way that they built it up with I actually just realized recently how much of a horror fan you were after watching your 2015 recap video, because I didn't know you were that much of a horror fan, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because I'm a huge horror fan too. But they built up the suspense, right, and then the atmosphere, and they did not show the troll thing until like near the end, and when they showed it, it was so fucking creepy. Like I watched the episode like at 2 in the morning, and I'm talking about as a grown ass man, not as a kid, on my DVD, and I was creeped out. Like that's the real shit where you can creep out a grown ass man. You know, I just want to say one thing, Zeon. I disagree with you about It Follows in that I was disappointed by the ending. I enjoyed the film, but I thought the whole AIDS fucking metaphor was, it was like whatever. But I'm very excited about The Conjuring 2. I don't know if you like that series, if you like James Wan.
Dude, man, James Wan is one of my favorite directors. I was so upset whenever he went to go direct Fast and the Furious, whatever the fuck it was. Like, I was just like, no, he needs to be doing horror. He's like one of like 3 people making good horror movies. God damn it.
He's fantastic. And here's the thing about Conjuring 1 is that, first of all, Conjuring 1 is extremely accurate when it comes to the history of the Catholic, Christian, demonic history. Like that's actually an extremely accurate movie as far as the belief system goes about demonic possession. Like there's been accounts that are very accurate to that. That's number one. Number two, what I love about that film is the entire first hour is nothing but build up. And that's horror movies. One thing I hate about fucking like all these stupid, shitty paranormal activity fucking movies is that all it is jump scares, jump scares, jump scares. And it's so played out. Like James Wan did this like whole hour of fucking build up, and you don't even see Bathsheba till the 3rd act, and you're unraveling the mystery. Like Conjuring 1, and you know what sucks about Conjuring 1, bro, is that Conjuring 1 was so fucking amazing in theaters because it's dark. I went to an almost empty theater. It's dark. They have the 16.1 surround sound. It's just beautiful. But when you watch it at home, dude, when I got the Blu-ray, it wasn't the same. I still love the movie, but it's not the same as seeing it in theaters. So my new thing now, folks, my suggestion to you is if you're going to go see a James Wan horror film, go see it in theaters. It's a totally different experience than seeing it at home.
I can agree with that. Like, honestly though, I was more of a fan of Insidious than I was The Conjuring though.
Well, I love Insidious. Now, it's funny you mentioned Insidious 2. That actually came out 2 years ago. Insidious 3 was the one that came out this year, which was the one that had the whole prequel, which I enjoyed that film, but I thought 2 was better. I thought 2 is my favorite because even though 1 is probably the creepiest one, I absolutely love the Back to the Future Part 2 shit in Part 2, bro. And I love the tributes to Psycho and to The Shining. James Wan's and to The Exorcist in Conjurings. James Wan's such a fucking. Have you noticed that these directors, bro? I know we're getting film nerd right now. These directors coming up now are such fucking marks for the classic filmmaking, bro. Like J.J. Abrams. Yeah, James Wan's a huge fucking fan of these classic movies. You see it in the new movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, oh god, I love James Wan, dude. Like him and Lee Winnell. Like when they get together, I am just so happy.
Did you did you like Insidious 3?
Oh, I loved Insidious 3. I actually liked it more than Insidious 2. Because to me, I thought it had really good atmosphere. It had a great story, obviously, because Lee Winnell wrote it.
The villain was creepy as fuck too. But all the villains are creepy in those movies, except for the first one.
Yeah, like it was really unsettling and shit. But like, my whole thing with the second film was there wasn't enough tension and scares.
I agree with you. I agree.
And but I did really appreciate the expansion of lore. And with 3, I got an expansion of lore as well as the creeps and the scares and everything else. Yeah. I always feel like those two, like they're great on their own. When you put them together, though, they're at their absolute best.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's my point about 2 is that 2 wasn't the scariest one of the trilogy. It's probably the least scary, but the story was so fucking good. The story just made up for it. And if I'm gonna watch a horror movie, if I can't get some good fucking like kills, I want to see the story. Let's get back to Dragon Ball because people are probably tuning out here. Do not tune out.
It's like Like, oh, goddamn, to keep talking about shitty fucking horror movies. Just fucking talk about Dragon Ball questions,
That's
goddamn
all they
it.
care about. No Star Wars video. All right. FMK.
Dance, monkey, dance!
Exactly. FMK Frieza third form, Sonic Cell. I don't know what the fuck this... What's FMK mean, Zeon?
Isn't it fuck, marry, kill? Isn't it one of those again?
Oh, God. Frieza third form, Sonic or Cell. I'm kind of sick of these questions, but Joe McGuire, it does bring out the best of us. Okay, I would fuck... Okay, I would fuck third form Cell because xenomorphs... I'm sorry, third form Frieza because xenomorphs are very sexy. I would marry Sonic because he can go to Burger King really fast and bring back some chicken burgers. And I would kill Cell because he's way too dangerous to keep alive. But he doesn't have a perfect body. So what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I will not touch Cell's perfect body. I'm just going to say kill him. You know what? Like, oh, man. I have to fuck one of these two? Come on, man.
Sonic? At least Sonic will be a quickie.
Sonic will be a quickie, but man, he's got like quills and shit. That's gonna hurt.
That's true.
Man, like one thrust in and I'm a fucking pincushion. So I guess for the sake of my internal organs, I'm gonna go with
your dick will look like a cactus.
And then I'm gonna go with fuck Frieza and marry Sonic because whatever. I'll never be hungry for chili dogs.
Would you bend over tails though? What about what's that girl that Sonic likes? What's her name again? Amy, right?
Can we not bring Amy Rose into this?
All right, we won't. Let's move on to the next one. You take this one from Jan.
But it starts off with "Hello, Big D." Goddammit.
Well,
it's all
hello.
about you.
But Zeon will read it now, so go.
Okay. Hello, D. Piccolo tells Goku that his Bukujutsu is different from Goku's flying technique. Since Gohan learned how to fly from Piccolo, does that mean that Gohan uses this different kind of Bukujutsu passed down by Piccolo? Or is it a Namek exclusive and Piccolo just taught the basic flying technique to Gohan? We have no fucking clue.
Yeah, that is actually a great question because that shows that this person was paying attention.
Yes, so I mean, that is fantastic that you are paying attention because a lot of people don't. No matter how much of I am such a hardcore Dragon Ball fan,
no
but
matter
I've never
how many times you tell, no matter how many, or even if you haven't seen the sub, no matter how many times you tell them that no, folks, 17 and 18 did not become human from the Wish, and no, Oob is not a GT exclusive character. Thanks for paying attention.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But yeah, there's no answer. But do you have a theory?
See, like he said, because I mean, Gohan doesn't really because when Gohan teaches it to Videl, he basically teaches it the way you would think the Bukujutsu technique would work. Using your ki to push yourself up. So, like, I mean, that's how I would imagine the Bukujutsu technique has always worked. Is you use your ki to levitate yourself and push yourself off the ground. I don't, So if Piccolo's is different from, or if here's
the other thing. I have
if
an
that's
idea.
Piccolo's version, then why would it be? I don't know. Well, I feel that he uses the standard Bukujutsu technique.
Or maybe what happened was Piccolo, even though he didn't know he was Namekian at the time, what if maybe Namekians can fly from birth? Let's just say they can. Maybe he realized that Gohan could not do that, and he taught him Bukujutsu. That's what I'm saying. I think that maybe...
Yeah,
that makes the most sense, because Piccolo obviously knew what Bukujutsu was, and he could obviously pick up on it because he's fucking Piccolo, so that's how I think happened.
Yeah. I mean, like, if Gohan can learn how to manipulate his ki with that high of a power level or battle power or whatever, then, he should be able to fly with ease.
All right, next question here. Take this one.
You think Piccolo has an unhealthy obsession with Gohan? Oh, Jesus Christ. He's always following him around and watching him from a distance in a bit of a stalker manner. He also saw a naked kid Gohan and ripped a thing between his legs off, kept it to himself, and then used his clothes beam like it hadn't happened.
So they're saying that that Jared from Subway is a big Piccolo fan. Is that what they're saying right here?
Or, maybe he cosplays Piccolo on weekends.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he's too fat. I don't know what the answer is to this. I want to think...
He's just a mentor figure, guys. Come on. Like, I mean, yes.
You gotta be careful with those mentor figures, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Mr. Miyagi and, Daniel-san kind of thing. Not Jared from Subway in his kiddie porn dungeon, force feeding sandwiches into children.
Oh man, and then there's of course Dr. Phil. We're dealing with what we're dealing with here is the playbook. No, the playbook of a child molester. That's what we're dealing with right here. With his big ass fucking mustache, I'm pretty good at doing a Dr. Phil.
I'm pretty sure the pedophile's playbook is go for the end zone.
Yeah. Oh god, I was gonna make a joke that's very inside, but I'm not gonna do it because I really can't.
Like, can we not make jokes about going inside children, please?
That's not what I meant.
It's a children's show. Come on, we're a family show here. Keep it classy.
Now here's a question right down here that I know the answer to for you. Have you ever fapped to hentai?
Yes, I have a penis. I watch anime. Yes, I have jerked off the fucking hentai. Jesus Christ.
I will not answer this question on the ground that it is culturally biased towards individuals such as myself. Zeon, are you still there?
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what you mean. Like Hispanics?
Yeah. Fuck, marry, kill. Vados, 18, or Videl. This is an easy one for me. I would fuck Vados, and I'll tell you why. Because she's the fresh pussy. I'm sick of getting questions about 18, Videl, and Bulma, and Vados is the new bitch on the block, so I'm gonna fuck her. I'm gonna kill 18 because she's way too dangerous, and I'm gonna marry Videl because she has a very rich dad. Top that!
Okay. Damn it. You picked the exact same order, but for different reasons. I'm gonna fuck Vados because, dude, she's like 8 feet tall. I'll never get another chance to fuck an 8 foot tall chick. That's gotta be like, I want to scale that mountain. Shit, yeah, like so.
That aggro crag.
Seriously, dude.
Make sure you hit all the activators on the way up.
Like I will climb that mountain. Just like fucking damn it, Everest. There we go, or Fuji. I don't give a shit.
Like
one of those.
Stallone did in Cliffhanger.
Damn straight. Yeah, I'm gonna kill 18. Whatever. I'm not that big of 18, even though I used that 18 blowjob clip. Not that big an 18. Videl, and Videl's like, like my second favorite female character. Plus, I mean, with those pigtails, she looks really fucking hot. And yeah, her dad's like rich as fuck. Yeah. So, I mean, and as far as like, you talk about like the fresh pussy, man. Vados is like 15,000 years or millions of years old or some shit. Probably billions. Who knows?
That's true, but I don't. I wonder. But look, my body type is kind of similar to Champa's, so maybe Champa fucked her, and so she likes guys that look like me. You never know. I'm just saying.
The thing is, if it's marry, fuck, kill, she doesn't have like a say in this. I'm basically going I'm marrying you. Give me all your dad's money and your pussy.
Yeah, I guess that's true, and it's funny too because
I don't have to romance a goddamn thing.
Or a god, in which case, Vados, or above a god, whatever. All right, now speaking of anime girls you really want to fuck, 23rd Budokai Chi-Chi versus Videl before key training as far as who will win the fight. I'm going to go with Chi-Chi, honestly. I'm
going to go probably Videl, because because Chi-Chi's like, upper tier normal fighter, like she was able to make it to, like,
But Zeon, Chi-Chi did the Kaioken in the Garlic Jr. saga.
I wish you could see the jerk-off motion that I'm making right now to show how many fucks I give.
Okay. Or because you were thinking about Chi-Chi.
That too. I mean, let's not go into that, okay? We already answered the hentai question. This is a different question.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go with Videl, because I think Videl, like, she's pretty much like the top tier of non-key trained martial artists, pretty much.
Above her own father, even.
Yeah, like her father was already the top tier, and now she is the top tier. She passed her father by a good margin. So yeah, Chi-Chi, she's in that upper tier, but I don't think I don't think that she could, probably take Videl. But I mean, I could be wrong.
I'm picking Chi-Chi because of experience and because her dad is the Ox King, Gyumao, and I think her father taught her how to fight much better than Mr. Satan taught Videl. Even though Videl's tough, I'm gonna slightly edge out Chi-Chi on this one. Not to mention that like Chi-Chi just seems like a more complete fighter. I mean, Goku actually had to dodge her a few times, so I think she might be edgy, a little bit stronger. But remember, this is Videl before key training. Afterwards, she kicked Chi-Chi's ass. So here's a good question. Why do you think reaction channels are so popular? All you're doing is watching someone watch something. I'm not sure, but I can tell you this much. Tyrone Magnus, who's probably the biggest reaction channel that we're all kind of associated with because he does Dragon Ball and some stuff, he's really charismatic. Like, I didn't believe it until I watched some of his videos. He's really genuinely funny and charismatic. I think that people just like personalities. Personalities are very important on YouTube. However, and I'm sure Zeon will agree with me, 90% of reaction channels are fucking stupid and just dumb.
Yeah.
And, you know. However, go ahead.
Well, no, you gotta finish.
I was gonna say I got a kick out of the Star Wars reactions because seeing people cry and shit's kind of cool. But other than that, you know, go ahead.
Yeah. I think the main thing, like, I mean, one, yeah, if you find like a channel like a guy who's like really charismatic, has a lot of personality, yeah, sure. Yeah, obviously that would be the draw for them. Maybe they're funny, but I think the big thing, it's kind of like the same reason like people go and like watch reviews of things of things they've already seen. They want to see if the person agrees with their opinions on something. Because people need that. Yeah, they need that validation. They need that echo chamber of going, yes, he's feeling that same thing I felt when I was watching that. And I think that might be like a thing. Like people want to see like, you know, that. Like, yeah, they want to see other people echo their own opinions because we're all fucking narcissists.
I agree. Now, I may have leave the wrong question there. Sorry if I did. All right, go back to sleep, Danny. No. All right, Death Blazer sent some questions in. First of all, another fuck, marry, kill, Mr. Popo, Grand Elder Guru, and the Oracle Fish. I don't even feel like answering this. I hate to be a dick like that. Like, I would probably... I know you'd kill Mr. Popo because of his skin color. And I know that you would probably marry Guru because you have a fat fetish. And you'd probably fuck the Oracle Fish because, you know, it already smells like fish. But, I mean, do you have anything to add?
Okay, let me just say that if I'm gonna fuck anybody, it's probably gonna be Mr. Popo because he's got that DSL, man. Look at those
true.
lips and tell me,
except for in the Viz manga.
Like, you know, like, yeah. So, I mean, look at those lips. I mean, he's even got like, the tooth gap. Your dick will fit right in there. Like, it'd be, like, seriously. It's just all gum and suction and lips. And, oh my God.
But so is the Oracle Fish. The Oracle Fish has no teeth.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And
man.
Yeah, we're fucked, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, seriously. I mean, like, you know, honestly, with the Oracle Fish, I think you got a good point. Because, I mean, I can just, like, put them on my dick and just kind of, like, work them up and down. Like one of those, like, little jerk-off things you put on your penis.
And she's voiced by a cute Japanese girl, you know, who... And that will add to your fetish.
Yes, I can make her call me senpai. Sure.
And then Guru's left out in the dust then.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't want to fuck Guru, but I will marry him because, you know, so I'll fuck the Oracle Fish, I'll marry Guru because, yeah, he'll die soon, whatever. I'll just kill Poco, just fuck it.
You'll marry him, you'll take out a big life insurance policy on his fat ass, and then you'll wait for him to die.
Yep.
You'll kill the Namekians to fucking make him die faster. All right, last one. I want you to make up the name of one of Frieza's race. P.S. Do you think we'll see another Egyptian-like gods in Super besides Beerus? Well, Champa is one, but I think they're all going to look like Beerus. As far as making up a member of Frieza's race, I'm going to go with Icebox. I don't know.
Sounds like what you'd call his mother.
What else?
I'm pretty sure Icebox would be his mother's name, but... I don't know. There you go. Took a second. We're witty on this show.
Yeah. Olaf from Frozen versus Flying Spaghetti Monster. I don't know. Spaghetti Monster. Favorite Vegeta quote?
Okay, this is really easy for me, and you're like, it's a dub quote because the dub is
quote.
The dub is a bit more quotable. But
you won't escape my wrath. Is it that one?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
My favorite is actually from the Saiyan arc. It's the one quote that I never hear anyone ever bring up, but it's my personal favorite. Right when Goku's reaching out for Gohan and Vegeta just drops that fucking knee on his sternum, he stands up and he says, you know, being a good fiend is like being a good photographer. It's all about picking the right moments.
That was not Japanese.
Yeah, like that was just such a great sinister quote from him. I loved it. It was just, yeah, that is my favorite Vegeta quote. Was just, I love that quote, and it's, yeah, by far my favorite.
You Won't Escape My Wrath is mine, but of course it's over 9,000 is the most famous one. I'm sure that's what they were wanting us to say, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not gonna say that one because it's not that great of a quote. Like, I don't understand why the hell that blew up. Brian Drummond makes it sound really epic.
Yes.
I mean, I love Brian Drummond. I think he's a fantastic Vegeta. But yeah, like, I never really cared for it. I honestly I just prefer the regular 8,000 quote from the Japanese version.
Would Golden Frieza be a god form? No.
No, it's not God form.
Nope.
Everyone can sense his ki. He's not a god.
Not a god, but he did surpass certain levels of gods. But remember, folks, the Kais are also gods. They ain't that strong. Go ahead and knock this one out.
How could Vegeta train by himself for a year and get more than 3 times as strong? Then, when Vegeta and Goku trained with Whis for 6 months, they haven't gotten 1.5 times stronger. What the fuck? Isn't he a god, and when you train with someone else, it makes you stronger? Beers, not bills, you fucking hicks. Use 70% on SSG Goku, but SSB, I fucking hate that acronym and that name, which training can't beat him.
And by the way, before you go any further by SSB, it's just one line that was said in the Toyotaro manga. It has not been said in the series yet or in any of the merchandise. People think it's official when we don't know if it's official yet, so please stop.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Honestly, this is one of those things that's always kind of bugged me, is like how strong characters get between certain points in training. Like, you know, you have like Vegeta goes into the Room of Spirit and Time for a year, comes out stronger than second form Cell, goes from weaker than 18 by a large margin to stronger than second form Cell, and you know, then he goes in for another year, he still isn't even as strong as Goku was when Goku walked out after a year. So, yeah, training has always been really weird and inconsistent and aggravating like that. Then you have like
it's whatever Toriyama wants, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like putting numbers to shit was like the worst idea Toriyama's ever fucking had. Because as soon as he started putting numbers to shit, the series stopped making a lot of sense.
And yet so many fans obsess over it. Think about that.
Right?
One.
Because, you know, what was it? Like the Z Fighters trained with God for, what was it, less than a year, waiting for the Saiyans, get way stronger than Goku did after 3 years of doing the exact same training. I'm like, that's bullshit. Yet Goku's the fucking super prodigy who's supposed to get way stronger than everyone from doing the exact same training.
Yeah, and they ran through the Serpentine Road, excuse me, not Snake Way, faster than Goku did too. How about that one? Yeah, and I just want to say one other thing too, that I've brought this point up many, many times before, and people just don't seem to understand. The whole beer is 70% thing. Whis says, I've never seen you use 70% of your power, right? He's not talking about the entire fight. He's talking about the last attack that Beerus did, okay? Beerus regularly fighting was not at 70%. Because why would we say that if his power... That wasn't 100% Beerus with the Sunbeam. In the movie, I mean.
Okay, my thing is, though, well, still, even regardless, though, because... Okay. Because, you know, if SSG is a 6 and Beerus is a 10, like, he still couldn't have gotten that much stronger during their training, is kind of the issue.
Even though they have a new form. It's weird.
Yeah, and that's like one of my things. Like, I really don't feel that the SSG SS form is actually that powerful. I'm starting to believe that it may actually only be as strong as SS1, but it has God Ki as a benefit. Whatever that benefit might be.
You mean the other way around? Because I don't think SSGSS is weaker than Red, but I don't think it's that much.
It has
stronger.
to be. It has to, like, as far as a multiplier goes, it has to be, because Goku's base form was elevated so high that his SS1 form was equal to his God form.
I never saw it that way, because not just that, but there's a number of
Goku clearly states so. I mean, if we're gonna go by like statements made in the show and take those as, like, you know, as valid, he says when he's in his Super Saiyan form, his regular Super Saiyan form, he says, I don't even feel any weaker.
When did he say that? I don't even remember. When he's fighting Beerus in space.
Yeah, and Beerus points out that, like, you know, he lost his God form. He goes, really, I don't feel any weaker.
Well, he absorbed the God Ki, but then if he absorbed the God Ki and was an SSJ, then what the hell do you call SS Blue or whatever? Like, that's the thing that never makes sense to me.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, because he maintains, from what I've understood, he has maintained the power he got in terms of like what his power level is. You know, if we're gonna start using those terms, you know, like what his power level was, but he no longer has the God Ki as a factor. People can sense his ki. He is now firing regular ki attacks. Yeah, it's
So
just the God
SSG
ki.
pretty much was like a steroid boost type thing. That's
Yeah.
your theory? Your theory?
Yeah,
on this.
that's kind of my worthless fucking headcanon on that.
See, my headcanon is a little different than yours. My headcanon is that, and yes, the power scaling in the series is all wonky and fucked up. You pointed that out in your reviews.
And it's getting worse, honestly.
It is. To me, the way I see it is SSG, you know, has its thing. Goku absorbed that power, but couldn't tap into it as easily as he could. He couldn't tap into it as easily as you would think. So I think training with Whis has allowed him to control that power. But God Ki, people are doing videos on God Ki, and it's like there's just too many unanswered questions and too many variables here because it really, again, I don't think SSGSS is weaker than God. I don't believe that whatsoever, just because of all the different things that have been said in the series. But I don't think it's that much stronger. Like, I don't think it's a 50 times multiplier, because if it was, he'd be able to take on Beerus at the very least, you know? I don't know. It's all wonky, bro, because I'll be honest with you. That 6, 10, 15 scale that Toriyama said during Battle of Gods, I think that's out the window now. I don't think it even counts anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, if Goku wasn't even at least 60% of Beerus, like then how weak was he in comparison, if that's the question, if that's the thing? If Goku were much weaker than that, I feel like Beerus wouldn't even consider Goku a threat or even an interest, you know? Like, he would have just been as disappointed in Goku as he was with...
with Vegeta or Goku earlier.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he would have been just as equally disappointed. It's like, oh, you're jack shit. But
the thing is also, you know, which again, it really is bad. It's not consistent. Is, you know, there are several statements made that Blue is stronger.
Well, see, thing is, though, it's more of they say that the characters, like, because Goku says, you know, I have surpassed, you know, God or whatever in the next episode preview. He said he had surpassed the power of God or power of a god.
Yes.
The way I personally interpret it, and once again, worthless fucking headcanon, I could be horribly wrong on this, is that he is stronger now than he was before. Like, he has done training to raise his base form, and now that he has SSGSS, Goku right now is much stronger than he was as an SSG.
Yes.
That's how I'm personally interpreting it. Because the fact that he still hasn't caught up to Beerus says a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he is stronger than SSG, but I just don't think he's that much stronger than SSG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, I feel like the multiplier is less.
Yeah, I feel like the blue hair is way less. I think the blue hair is kind of representative of, I have learned, and I said this is my original headcanon / theory for this form. It is, I know how to tap into my God Ki at will. And whatever that does when you mix it with regular ki, who knows? But maybe it makes you a better fighter. Maybe it ups your reflexes. Again, there's no explanation for any of this. But the way I see it is, it's a more controlled version of SSG and a little bit stronger. But you're right, he still can't fuck with Beerus yet. But then again, in Chapter 7 of the manga, they're training in the Room of Spirit and Time for 3 years. I mean, dude, people really underestimate how long 3 fucking years is, dude.
In Dragon Ball time? Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, if they are not on par with Beerus,
maybe, I don't want to say...
even Whis. Like, even like with Whis, I mean, like, yeah, they should be on par with him even. Like, probably even beyond. That's 3 years of fucking training.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking weak are these characters? Like, you know, I really... Like, we need a goddamn guidebook to just fucking lay this shit out, because... it's not making sense, even if we don't apply numbers. Like even if we didn't have the 6, 10, 15 scale.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mess. Now, another power scaling question we got here. I'll read it and we talk about it. Frieza trains for 4 months to get stronger than Goku, even though he trained for 17 years and the community defends like idiots. Okay, first of all, before I go any further, I have been critical of this for a very long time because I do feel that Frieza's jump to surpass Goku is extremely... What's the word you use Zeon, when you describe like beneficial for the plot? What is the word like convenient for the plot?
Oh, contrived.
Contrived. Yeah, thank you. I'm a Latino. It's not my first language. And I thought that the idea that Frieza training for 4 months, like I like the fact that they revealed that Frieza had never trained. Like I actually kind of like that. Okay, and maybe he really is a prodigy, but it seems like it's an explanation that I felt was very lazy. I mean, of course, the whole Resurrection F story is kind of lazy in a way. I've never liked that. I would have preferred if they revealed that he had some kind of god power, that he obtained some kind of god power, that he had some kind of MacGuffin that increased his power, anything but just I trained and got stronger. And then right here it says never training in your life before doesn't mean that you get 500,000 times stronger. Cooler training, and Frieza didn't GT and he didn't get that much stronger. What the fuck, Toriyama? First of all, and let me answer that one also, and I know you'll have your things to say too. Don't say what the fuck Toriyama with Cooler or with GT, okay? That's fucking not Toriyama. So you can't sit there and say, what the fuck, Toriyama? Toriyama does not give a fuck about Cooler or GT, all right? Obviously, he didn't at all when it came to writing these stories. So, whatever. Just eliminate that from your head. It doesn't exist, okay?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think his question is the whole thing. It's not really a question. It's more of a statement. I guess your thoughts on Frieza training for 4 months. It just seems a little bit too simple. Like they wanted to rush through it. I think could have been a better explanation.
I'm fine with it. I mean, we're talking about characters, like, alien races, characters doing, like, ridiculous training. And, like I said, I mean, we've already brought up how, like, a bunch of humans...
fucked.
Yeah, like a bunch of humans doing less than a third of the amount of training Goku did, doing the exact same training Goku did for less than a third of the amount of time, gave them way more gains for that. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, the whole thing has always been really off and weird, especially when they started applying numbers to it. And whenever you think about Frieza, at least they do give you some kind of an explanation. Keep in mind, like, I mean, you could say, like, well, I mean, that's not how, actual training works. Well, you know what? Strapping a turtle shell to your back for like 9
Clayton?
months. Oh, God damn it. My favorite Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. Remember, we're starting that new religion, Claytheism.
Yes. Join today. We have cookies.
Yeah, and instead of a Bible, we read the Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird books and examine those passages. That's up your alley right there, bro.
Yes.
I might just convert you.
So, but anyhow, yeah, at least we have some kind of an explanation for this, because I mean, like, yeah, you strap a damn turtle shell to your back and do fucking yard work, you're not going to be able to jump, 5 stories high. You're not. That's not how that fucking works, because we're living the real world, and you can't expect... I mean, they ever get this explanation.
Frieza's an alien. That's the other thing.
He's an alien.
Yeah.
He's an alien that he was just born with this much goddamn power. So, yeah, whatever. He trains for 4 months. My biggest issue with this is, as according to Super, his training consisted of beating the ever-loving shit out of Tagoma day after day after day. And that's all he did as far as...
Well, that's all we saw. And that's the problem. We didn't see enough. You know what I mean?
Like, I want to see way more of that. Like, not even way more. Just showing him do other things. They could show me, like a couple of still images of him, like, doing crazy gravity training or weight training, or just, being, like, just put under extreme circumstances that would really boost up his power. And not just...
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
What did you do?
Challenge.
Like, yeah, like, what did you do for, like, 4 months? Well, I kind of beat the shit out of this guy over and over and over again. Oh, was he really tough? No, he's kind of a pussy compared to me. Yeah. How did that make you stronger? I don't know.
It's just... but that's Super. That's not Toriyama. Toriyama purposely left that away, so...
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, I'm pretty sure Tagoma being added to this story is probably Toriyama's idea.
I don't think it is. That's been the debate for a while. I think that Toei changed it. I think Toei wanted to change things, and that's what they did.
I feel like the Ginyu thing is such a Toriyama idea, though.
It is, but I think, remember, just like with that filler at the beginning of the series, the humor's still Toriyama, but I don't think it was Toriyama. In fact, we know for sure it wasn't because of the Toyotaro differences in the manga. Because I feel like he would have put that in there at the beginning of the series. That's the thing. Yeah. We're never going to really know what Toriyama added or not. Maybe we will one day, but not right now.
Yeah, like hopefully maybe we'll get like another guidebook that'll... Like, this is all of Toriyama's contributions to fucking Super.
Yeah, like the F book. I realize that hardcore DB fans defend it and justify it no matter how bad it is. Krillin's scared of Frieza's soldiers that are strong as Raditz. Well, we don't know if they're strong as Raditz. I don't remember that being the case. God Ki is unbeatable till Frieza beats Goku. That's actually also not exactly stated. See, this is somewhat headcanon-y because nobody ever said that God Ki was unbeatable. Nobody ever said that. That was not stated at all.
Well, okay. The problem is that people take this one fucking line out of context, which is normal ki doesn't work on gods. It's something that Beer states, and in the movie, that's pretty much how it looks. Like, because ki does not work on gods. And Super pretty much retcons that idea that Beers is able to basically cancel out ki if he wants to with God ki. Not that normal ki doesn't work on gods.
Yeah, God ki. It's just that Beers is so much stronger.
Yeah, it's just,
and he probably meant gods of destruction, not gods like the Kais. Because we know for a fact that regular ki works on gods because we see fucking Kaioshin get wiped out. That's bullshit. No, he's talking about gods of destruction. Has to be.
Yeah, I mean, either that or it's just a fucking, retcon. But either way, though, he doesn't say he's unbeatable. Yeah,
because Whis is not a god, and Whis beat his ass.
Yeah. I mean, because, then again, Whis has God Ki, but still. Frieza doesn't have God Ki, and he proves that a non-god can be stronger and beat the shit out of a god. You do not have to be a god to beat a god.
Same thing within the Buu saga. Look at what happened to Kai. And then he says, Saiyan beyond God, even though you're supposed to lose the God Ki after the time limit. Well, this guy doesn't really understand. That's not what Saiyan beyond God is. It's not the same thing at all. Saiyan beyond God is a more powerful base form, not necessarily the God Ki. The time limit's only for that form, not for the fucking God Ki. And then IT can't teleport to Earth. Well, no, that's also wrong. See, I don't know where this question's coming from because he did teleport to Earth with Vegeta.
Yeah, I think he's just more of like, why couldn't he? Like, maybe he thought like because maybe he thought like Goku had an issue with it. But Goku explains like in the episode and in the movie, it's so far away he can't sense it.
He has to. That's why they had to power up.
Yeah, they all had to power up, or in Super, Gohan had to power up for him to sense it. As far as like the Kuririn being scared of the Frieza soldiers, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, I mean, I think there are way bigger things to criticize about the series and shit like that. Because to me, like, because we already established earlier in that arc, Kuririn has a lot of doubts and issues. Like the fact, I mean, he basically has like a midlife crisis where he's like, Goku, punch me in the face.
You know what? That's actually kind of good writing when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I love that because it's just like, it shows like that Kuririn is kind of developing as a character. The fact that like, he's grown complacent and now he's not okay with being complacent with his station in life. He's being a cop now. He's having his fucking, super powerful friend punch him in the goddamn face. Like
midlife crisis.
And like Kuririn is a character who's been getting his ass handed to him time after time, killed time after time. So yeah, like he kind of loses it whenever he's faced with this life or death situation. He's facing one of the people that fucking killed him to begin with. So yeah, like him having a bit of a breakdown and not wanting to fight at first, fine. As soon as he realizes, oh shit, right, I'm a super badass, and then he starts kicking ass. Because, he's basically having, like, a traumatic, fuck. What the hell is that called where you're traumatized by something? PTSD, basically.
A what?
Yeah, like kind of like PTSD.
Oh, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, it's similar to that is what he's basically going through. And, I mean, and that's a psychological thing. That's not, like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, hell, like, people have fucking phobias. I know a guy who's fucking terrified of plants. He knows plants can't hurt him.
He must have seen that. He must have read that one Goosebumps book.
Like a tree isn't gonna come out and rape him and like steal his wallet.
Oh, that means he hasn't seen Antichrist yet.
But I mean,
I can give you a million of them, or any anime.
Or I was gonna go with Evil Dead, but
that's right. That's right. Oh my God, how could I forget?
Seriously, man, that's like the tree rape
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, like that is like the most iconic of tree rape scenes in cinema.
Very arousing. Now, let me ask you a question. Being a fan of horror, are you a fan of Evil Dead 1 or are you a fan of Army of Darkness? Or 2? Because I actually like Army of Darkness the most, but most of the hardcore fans, or not the hardcore, but it's split. Like, some people love Army of Darkness the most, some love Evil Dead 1 the most, and some like, which one do you like the best out of the original trilogy?
Do I have to pick? I like them all.
I like them all too, but I know a lot of people pick the first Evil Dead. I just like Army of Darkness, even though it's not really scary.
I feel the best balance was in 2, but I mean, they're all so drastically different films that I enjoy them all for different reasons. If you're gonna twist my arm and say, like, you can only watch one of these ever again, maybe Evil Dead 2, but
That was the first one I ever saw.
You know, because I really love that one. Because I mean, that's where a lot of the iconography comes from, is Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically, just like everything, like, from the groovy to the chainsaw hand, the boom. Well, the term boomstick comes
that was the
from
third one. Yeah.
Comes from the third one. But him with the shotgun, that's all of that stuff is from the second film. So I guess, just for the sake of iconography, like, I'd have to go with Evil Dead 2, but I mean, I love all of them, and it's so close. I don't want to pick. Because I like them all for different reasons.
Me too. I feel exactly the same way. Take this one.
Hi, Geekdom. Considering Gohan's treatment in DBS so far, do you think the writers are making him look lame purposely, only to make him only for him to make a massive comeback later in the story? What's your thoughts?
I think it's very possible because they left him off of the Universe 6 manga thing, so it's possible he might come back, but Gohan is never going to be the focal point ever again.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to be like he's never going to be a headliner. That's for damn sure.
That's from Stanford also.
I don't know, because they're going to Universe 6. What the hell is Gohan even going to do? They're having a tournament with no stakes. Or at least no stakes that are relevant to any of the characters, really. I mean,
the stakes that they might lose Earth.
Well, I mean, their Earth gets transported to a different universe.
Yeah, which who knows what that... I don't know what that really means, to be honest. Like, what if it's, like, the same shit? Like...
Yeah, I mean, like, as far as they know, it could just, the only thing it's really going to affect is that the characters, like Goku, is going to probably be the most affected, because he isn't going to be able to communicate with Kaioshin and Kaio.
Like, he gives a shit, bro. He doesn't care about his own fucking friends. He was a child. Why the fuck would he care about some guys he made friends with when he was growing up? Yeah, right? You know what? I just realized that Super's got a retarded fucking storyline, bro.
That's why I said I'm not excited.
No, you're right.
I'm trying to fucking tell people. People keep yelling at me, going, "Hey, you can't judge it yet. It hasn't come out yet."
It's like, I know it's funny, but
it's
funny, but it's also kind of dumb. But I'm okay with it. Like, I don't hate it. I'm just saying it's stupid. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, like, there's no stakes to this fucking arc, damn it. Like, as far as the main characters are concerned, like, it's basically like two fucking gods having a pissing contest.
That's right.
Invading the Earth.
They're fighting over food, as if. And here's the stupid thing, Zeon. Why can't Champa just come over and have food whenever the fuck he wants?
Right?
Fucking Bulma's family's rich. They could give him food forever.
Yeah, all he has to do is just fucking play the beers card and go, like, if you don't give me food too, I'll blow up Earth.
And that's it. Done. He'll get whatever he wants. Fucking Dr. Briefs is the richest man on Earth for 700 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So maybe somebody will talk some sense into Champa. I don't know. All right. All right. Speaking of which, take this one.
Why does everyone damage control how bad DB has gotten? Super trash, plot holes, inconsistencies, characters acting differently, Bulma fighting Jocko, Gohan realizing that when he didn't train for 7 years, it was bad when he couldn't stop the bad guy, but does it again in Super, going SS2, KOs you, laugh my ass off. Okay.
I mean, we kind of have been saying that. You've been the most critical, Zeon. I've been critical, but
I'm going to say right now, I was the first one to call Dragon Ball Super out for being shit. I was the first one to stand up on my goddamn soapbox. Yeah, everyone's like, everyone's on the Super hate bandwagon. Fuck you! I am the bandwagon. I started this fucking crazy train.
I drove that wagon, and I painted
God
it.
Damn it! I was the fucking horse that pulled it. Fuck everyone else. They're riding my coattails, motherfuckers. Like, everyone else was defending the series. You can't judge it yet. It's one episode. Well, you know what? That first episode was really indicative of how the rest of the series was gonna fucking pan out, and I was goddamn right. Suck my motherfucking dick. I'm sorry. Do you want to say something?
I mean, there's a lot of issues with Superman. Like I told Dino this, the other day, well, a few weeks ago with the video. We're not going to really be able to judge this series fairly until a couple of years go by. And I say we as in the overall fandom, not just like, certain people like yourself and, the critical ones. Because I'm critical too, but I think you're a little more critical than me. Not that that's a detriment. It's just that I'm still very hopeful that it gets better. And maybe that's...
I'm hopeful too.
Yeah.
I was hopeful up until episode 26. Like when I found out that they were just rushing
They
the
are.
arc, just being like, they're like, let's just get this shit over. People want new shit. And it's like, why did you try making a good fucking arc first? People wouldn't mind a rehash if it was a good rehash.
Or why didn't you just do what everybody else wanted and skip the fucking rehash and just go right to Universe 6? It is irritating. But I think that when we all go back and we reanalyze this series in a few years when it's over and the Dragon Ball hype trains, then we're not all hyped to see Super every week and we're not all happy to see a new Dragon Ball. A few years go by and we reanalyze it. I don't think it's going to age very well, especially the first two arcs. Again, I am hoping that Universe 6 brings us something good, a new villain, something that we could really, attach to. But I'll be honest with you, Zeon, I don't know. And I'm going to ask you this question because I was going to ask someone at Funimation this. That's all I'm going to say. I was going to ask somebody at Funimation this to get their thoughts. Do you think when they dub Super and they put it on television, do you think it's a mistake for them to even show these two arcs? And again, before you answer that, I just want to say that with GT, what they did was they skipped the first 16 episodes and did that recap.
I'm predicting Super the Lost Episodes Blu-ray sets to come out.
I actually, but here's the question: is it a good idea or not? Because honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. And guys who are watching this video, who are still watching, it's a long video. We're going to be done here shortly. But, guys who are watching this, don't think like a hardcore fan. Think like a casual Dragon Ball fan. Not a hardcore, a casual. Are people really going to tune into this series? And by the time episode 6 or 7 rolls around, they're going to be like, wait a minute, this is just a retelling of Battle of Gods? Like, I already saw that movie in theaters a year ago or 2 years ago. I got the Blu-ray over there. I saw Resurrection F. I feel like the fact that they're even redoing those two movies will turn people off and they'll never come back. I feel like they're not even going to know about what's coming up.
Thing is, though, you have to think, a lot of casuals are probably not going to keep up with the series regardless. First off, like a lot of casuals are like, I like Dragon Ball Z. They don't watch the Dragon Ball. They don't watch GT. They watch a handful of the movies. Some of them may not even have seen Battle of Gods or Resurrection F when we're talking about
or even
casuals.
all the episodes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's different
'cause
levels
they're
of casual. Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the casuals, it's not even going to matter.
Those are the ones that buy like the super casuals buy the best of Goku. You know about those DVDs, right? They're like the best of Goku fights. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I've seen that set.
It's like $5 and you get like 7 Goku fights, and I'm like, that's kind of cool, but this isn't pro wrestling. It's a serialized television show. That's like buying the best of Full House. Like, no, I want to watch all of Full House. Wait a minute, no, I don't want to watch all of Full House. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's
the best of Uncle Jesse.
Shit, I'd watch that.
Me too, actually.
But
the best of Stephanie Tanner's tits in Fuller House. That's the one I want to watch.
Yeah.
You forgot what you were gonna say, didn't you?
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm thinking of Stephanie's tits. God damn it. Okay, all right, nice. I'm back now. I am back in the game.
We're talking about when they dub Super. Do you think the casuals are gonna even pay attention?
Okay, first thing, guys, we really need to accept something. Dragon Ball Z, when it gets marketed for television, it's marketed as a fucking kids series. It is edited for television, and when it gets shown, it'll be shown in an edited format to appeal to kids.
Yeah, but
or to be palatable to kids.
Super's not that violent, though.
It isn't. They probably won't even need to edit much of anything. Maybe like a blue popo here or there, but whatever. So yeah, it's not. It's going to be marketed to kids, first off. And they're probably going to do Kai. They're going to run Kai on TV. And then they're going to run Super. And kids are just going to keep watching Super because they just got done watching Kai. And it's not going to matter to them because they're kids and they're stupid. And they're going to have this nostalgia for it. Fuck it. I'll say it. I was a stupid kid once, too. I thought Ninja Turtles 3 was a good movie at one point in my life. Shit. Like, okay, I'm sorry. If you're not above the age of 16, you're probably dumb. I'm just going to say it right now. Because You know, and I'm gonna say this, even as a person who is over 30, I was a dumb 16-year-old, and I thought I knew fucking everything at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of what this whole defense thing is. It's a bunch of teenagers who are like super into Dragon Ball Z, and you know, probably like they got into it, you know, because like their siblings got them into it, or maybe they watched Kai and then they got into that, or they watched DBZ Abridged, or
Xenoverse.
The games. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways it could have gone. But I guarantee it's a lot of teenagers who are like, they can't tell quality, they don't know what bad animation actually looks like. I mean, hell, we've spoken to Quinn a few times on this. He didn't even know Dragon Ball Z was poorly animated.
Well, wait a minute, you said that you said he was blind though.
I know, which I guess explains why he couldn't tell the animation was terrible.
Exactly.
I guess when you just have someone standing next to you telling you what's going on,
Fucking
I guess you're a horrible critic for animation. I don't even know why the hell you even pretends to see, dumbass.
Me either.
Anyhow, but going back to this, yeah, I think it's a bunch of teenagers who just don't want to think that their new favorite show or whatever is terrible, and I think when they get older, they're gonna look back at it and be like, man. Yeah, Super wasn't that good. Or maybe they'll be like how like kids are with the fucking prequel trilogy with Star Wars. There are people who I have met who think that the prequel trilogy is fucking legit shit, and they don't understand why we fucking hate it.
So what happened when you got off the short bus that day?
What?
I thought it was funny. I don't know.
Okay.
That's. I mean, the thing is though,
yeah.
I do think people get smarter as time goes by, and I've said before completely that Resurrection F's gonna have Phantom Menace syndrome, and I think it will, and I think Super will definitely have it. I do think people are gonna grow up and dislike it. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you about this one, Zeon. As a kid, I absolutely loved Darkwing Duck. And as a grown-up, I owned the DVD set. I went back and I watched it, and it's really not as good as I remembered it. Like, I only went through the episodes, like 2 or 3 episodes, and I stopped. Like, and that hurts because a lot of people are super nostalgic for Darkwing Duck. But when you go back and you watch the series again, as a little bit, not even as how old I am now. This was like 5 years ago. I rewatched it, and I was like, man, they used the same jokes in every single episode, and it got goddamn annoying.
Okay, I'm gonna say I did the exact same thing 5 years ago, but I still love Darkwing Duck. So see,
I'm not saying I don't love it. It just fell off a cliff for me. Same thing with Ren and Stimpy. When I went through phases. When I was really little, I loved Ren and Stimpy. Then when I got to be like 19, 20, and I watched some of the newer stuff, I hated it. I thought it was retarded. And now I actually think it's funny again because now I pick up on every single sex joke that they have, and there's a lot of sex jokes for a kid's show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
that show is disgusting. Rocco was bad,
up,
bro.
Yo.
Choky chicken,
right? They only got away with that for one episode, and they changed it to something else, like Chewy chicken afterwards. Okay, so just talk about like going back to nostalgic properties. You want to talk about something that breaks my fucking heart? Going back and watching the '87 TMNT and finding out that it was terrible,
dude. After season like 3, yeah. Even though I know we talked about the season 1 is the best, but season 3 still has some good episodes. But
oh yeah, I mean like
Casey Jones was season 3. Okay, Octopus Inc. Zeon, Octopus Inc.
Every single season of TMNT has a couple of standout episodes, but overall it's fucking terrible, and that hurt a little. It did. I mean, I can still watch it for the campy nostalgic value, but it is not a good series. The same thing happened with Voltron. Voltron was fucking terrible as an adult. Thank God I have Go Lion I can watch now, but Voltron's terrible. That hurt too. And, another
one that hurts me is the real Ghostbusters. That was better as a kid, I think.
Really? I thought it held up fairly well.
Now, you know which one was better as an adult was DuckTales. I really enjoyed DuckTales as a grown-up.
I have not watched DuckTales as an adult because I didn't care that much for DuckTales as a kid.
Well, me neither. And that's what I'm saying. I discovered it. I was like, hey, this is pretty good.
Hey, please tell me, man, that Chippendale Rescue Rangers is still awesome.
I liked it still, yeah.
Okay, because, if you tell me that sucks, I'm going to be I might cry on air.
And speaking of hentai, that mouse bitch, man... She might have been responsible for my first boner. And she's blonde hair, blue eyes, so maybe it's the same for Jay.
I think we just had the first open admission that Danny is a furry.
No, I'm not a furry.
Okay, fine. You're into interspecies erotica.
That's right. Well, I haven't had a donkey show quite yet, but I would like to try it soon.
So Well, you are Hispanic. That's where all that shit comes from.
Yes,
so.
actually it is. That you're not lying about that.
I'm not
No.
lying for once.
That's right, folks. Hispanics were the first ones to fuck mules and sheep on farms. This Q&A is the best Q&A and the worst we've ever done. I figured it would be.
I mean, we
We're not even answering questions anymore. We're just talking.
I know. We're just saying horrible shit. Okay, so something that also really killed me, dude. The Majin Buu arc. I used to love the Majin Buu arc, dude.
Man,
I thought it was good shit. It's a bad arc. It's a bad arc.
Yeah. What? Let me ask you a question. What anime? I'll tell you one that also. Okay, Evangelion. When I first got into Evangelion, I was 17 years old. I loved it. As a grown up, but it's terrible.
Oh, dude, I love it.
You love it. I know. But in your defense, or my defense, you did tell me to watch it again, and then watch that one guy's video. So maybe I'll do that, and I'll appreciate it better.
Yeah, like honestly, if you just like watch that guy's videos, like the guy I'm speaking about specifically is DigiBro. If you like anime, he's a great fucking analyst in terms of anime. He's really deconstructive on genres and all that great shit. But yeah, his Evangelion videos are some top tier analytical shit right there. Like, you think I'm good? Nah, man, this motherfucker puts me to shame.
You know, the other night
he isn't as funny or as offensive as I am, though.
No, of course not. A few people are. Now, the other night we were talking, it was Quinn and me and Jay were talking about Pokemon, and they were like, oh, well, that series also doesn't hold up. And I don't think that was ever a good series to begin with. I know a lot of people, I hate to say it, bro, a lot of people really love Pokemon. They're nostalgic for it. But if you're listening to this right now and you're a little bit older, like in your mid-20s or maybe even early 30s, that series is really hard to watch now. It's just so, like, get on with it. And it's, like, so, like, Ash is the most unlikable main character maybe since Anakin Skywalker. And he came first, actually.
Ouch.
He's bad.
I'm going to say that I've gone back and watched the first season of Pokemon, like the Indigo League. Honestly, the Indigo League is the only thing I can sit down and watch. And really, it's only, like, the first handful of episodes, like the first 26-ish episodes are my favorite, because I felt like they were putting more effort into the writing and the creativity, and it still maintains, I think, but after a while it drops really hard, because you have to remember Pokemon's a kid show, and I have no problem watching a kid show. I mean, I fucking watch My Little Pony every goddamn season. I don't give a flying fuck what anyone says. I think it's a good show. I like Adventure Time. I mean, I'm not opposed to watching kid shows. And I think Pokemon holds up for a while, but then they just run out of story ideas. And they just start rehashing them. And it's like...
Well, like, same thing with the games, bro.
It's like, okay, well, it's been a few years since we've done this storyline, so we'll just do this again. I'm pretty sure those guys... those guys were like 30 back then, right? They're not watching the show still. What do you mean they're still watching this show? God damn it.
It's bad, yeah. I'm trying to think of another show. Oh, dude, Gundam Wing. Like, Gundam Wing is...
Gundam Wing is like one of the worst Gundam series.
I was going to say, like, you discover the good Gundams later on, and they're so much better. Like, 0083, that's the other one that I watched. But Gundam Wing is, like, such a boring show.
Like, yeah, it is so dry. It is so dry, and every character has the exact same fucking bland-ass personality. All the main Gundam pilots, at least.
Yeah.
Except for Duo. Duo had a personality, and Catra bitched a lot. So I guess that's kind of like having a personality.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it is in our group, Zeon. There's always one guy that bitches a lot, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
So.
Oh wait, we were answering questions and shit.
All right, let's finish. This is the last question. Hi, Geekdom, big fan, but I've started to watch Japanese DBZ, not DBS, and I love it. Good man. This is from Goku Time GT. I have gotten used to it due to watching DBS. The funny dub, Japanese dub are both great. Okay, well, I don't agree with you about the funny dub, the original one, but the Kai dub is better. What's your favorite fight in all of the DB franchise? See, the thing I love about this question is this is one of those exam questions, Zeon, where the entire paragraph is one thing, and then the question is like something totally unrelated to fuck with you. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, thing is, though, like, basically the guy just kind of, like, gave you a hand job. He's just like, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z in Japanese because of you. Oh, no, he's actually, no, he was watching because of DBS. So, yeah, that was completely unrelated. I thought this guy was just like, yeah, thank you for like introducing me to this amazingness. No, it was completely unrelated. Well, shit.
But it's just funny how the question, it's like Mary went to the store and bought herself a 38 double D bra. Sue wore the bra, but it was too big on her. How much pole do they smoke? You know, it's like it doesn't really fit with the question, but
It doesn't.
but I do want to hang out with Mary if she bought that bra. Nonetheless, what is your favorite fight in all the Dragon Ball franchise? Zeon, you go first, and I think we're probably gonna pick the same one.
Hands down for me, it's Piccolo versus Goku during the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai.
That's it, man.
It
That's
is
my favorite. Also.
it is so well. It's well paced. It's well choreographed.
It's well built up.
Like,
The best
yeah,
build up of any fight.
Yeah, it has a great build up. Yeah, it's just there's history behind them because you have the whole Goku had been training 3 years specifically to fight this one guy who was the reincarnation of a guy he already fought and defeated, a guy who killed his best friend, who took over the world. This was like the comeback of the biggest enemy he had ever fucking faced. So yeah, I mean there was so much build up to it. Piccolo himself is just such a bastard in that arc. He's such like I mean he is like he's kind of a mustache twirling bad guy in it. But I mean, fuck it. That's what like most of the goddamn villains in Dragon Ball were in Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, for him to just be such a badass, like and there's so many great moments in it, like Goku, you know,
when
what
he
was
made
it
that
like?
comeback and started pounding Piccolo, that's great.
Yeah. He does that whole meteor attack on him. That was great shit.
Yeah, when Piccolo
whenever
turns
he's
giant.
being chased, yeah, when Piccolo turns giant, Goku like pops in his throat and just starts kicking the shit out of his throat. That was great. Goku shooting the Kamehameha out of his feet to punch Piccolo in the face. That was an awesome, memorable moment. Piccolo firing that tracing blast at Goku, and then Goku getting right up in Piccolo's face, sidestepping, and then Piccolo just taking it to his arm, and then ripping his arm off, and then regenning it.
So
the first time
violent.
we had ever seen regeneration. It was just Piccolo getting blasted by a super Kamehameha and like, popping up at the 9 count to blast a hole in Goku's chest. Then the fight after that, and Goku's just gushing blood, and they're still fighting. It's just so goddamn intense.
And it's amazing to me that so many quote fans have never seen it because they've only seen Z. Like,
I know
you're doing yourself a disservice. I understand if you like the more action-packed and violent tone of Z versus all of Dragon Ball, but nonetheless, that fight at the end may have been the most violent. Really,
it is without a doubt. It is the bloodiest fight. Like, because Goku, like, I think still the most painful moment in all of Dragon Ball for me to watch is when, after he has that hole in his chest and they're duking it out, Piccolo jams his elbow into the hole, is thrust forward with it. Blood squirting everywhere. Goku screaming in pain, coughing up blood himself. And it's fucking painful to watch. And it's just, and it's so good.
It is.
It is such a good fight. There's so many layers to it. There's this good back and forth. It's just there's good staging to each part of the fight. It's great, and you feel like the ante is being upped every episode, and it builds very nicely. I mean, you can argue that the ending is a little anticlimactic where Goku headbutts him. That I will not argue. But I mean, it is this horrible, like this one last ditch effort of Goku. He has no limbs left, and he just knocks Piccolo out. And because to Goku, it wasn't about just one-upping Piccolo in a fight, because Goku was still playing by the tournament's rules. It was about being the strongest, and yeah, that was just an awesome, epic moment. And plus it was a great cap off moment for Dragon Ball where Goku, he finally became the strongest under the heavens. He finally won the tournament, something that had been built up throughout the 153 episodes of Dragon Ball. They just kept building it up. Goku lost, and then he finally won against the reincarnation. So good.
Yeah.
Fucking love that fight. Like, it is, God, I fucking just, dude, I can't express just how much of a goddamn boner I have for... Are you fucking, trolling Clayton?
Yeah. I'm just letting you go, but I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, that is my favorite fight of the series.
It is just, yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. Like, and I'm pretty sure, like, people who are familiar with me are probably really happy, like, Zeon's saying happy things about Dragon Ball. He's not just an asshole who just wants to just take a turn on everything that comes out that has the name. No, I love Dragon Ball. I love Z, even though I don't like the Majin Buu arc all that much. It's still, like, cool moments, you know? But yeah, that fight is so good. The Vegeta fight with Goku, close second. Um, most the first one, because Goku gets the shit beaten out of him, and he is just so on the, like, because everyone had to work together to beat Vegeta. If you want to split hairs, Vegeta won that fight. He kicked everybody's ass. Like, like he won that goddamn fight. Goku was a fucking broken husk of a man after that fight. Like, Goku's everything was broken. It's like Toriyama wanted to one up himself. He's like, okay, well, like in the King Piccolo fight, he has all of his limbs but one broken and has like holes in them. You know, the second fight, all of his limbs are dismantled. He fights Raditz. He gets a hole in his chest. How can I try to up the ante on this without actually killing him again? I was gonna crush him into a snowball and just break his everything. Jesus Christ! Yeah, that fight was great too, and that's my second favorite. Honestly, to me, like that is the peak of Dragon Ball. Like the Piccolo, like from Piccolo Daimao to actually, okay, from Red Ribbon Army to the Saiyan arc, that is the peak of Dragon Ball for me. That is just the crescendo.
That is pretty much where it was at its best. Yeah, I mean, there is some good stuff in the Frieza arc though, to where you could argue that ending it there would have still made the series, you know,
oh yeah,
probably more
I mean,
good closure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like it would have been, you know, it wouldn't have been ending it on its strongest note, but it would have been ending it on a really good, satisfying note that made sense thematically. So yeah. But yeah, I mean the Frieza arc, it is a solid arc. I enjoy it. I enjoy the Kai version a lot better because they padded that shit like a 12-year-old girl's training bra. But you know, not that I have any experience with 12-year-old girls and their training bras.
Well,
just gonna throw that one out there.
Who knows what the fuck where you've been going to in the dark reaches of the internet?
The dark reaches of the internet usually take me to torrent sites to watch Dragon Ball Super.
I don't know if we can top that one. All right, well, we're done. Unless you have anything else to say, I think we're done. Right?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks everybody for checking out the video. Go subscribe to Zeon, and we'll catch you down the road.